least you tried. Yeah, that's not how aggro works. You don't have to damage them. I feel like an Iron Man would have done their due diligence to not do that, but at the same time, I got into like a 30-minute argument over Barrows with an Iron Man in our clan. Or maybe you're under drop rate and you just want it over with, which isn't how it works. Reminder, there's a guy with 3,200 Araxor kills, still hasn't gotten what he wanted. I think he wants the Rancor recolor. I don't think it's the pet he's missing. Is he in here? I don't think so. And you haven't exceeded 600, so you're below drop rate. Uh-huh, and it's 3 pieces that add up to 600. 1 out of 200 is effectively 3 out of 600, but worse. Because technically it's not really a 3 out of 600 because the odds are worse than 3 out of 600 because they're 1 out of 200 and the rolls are done separately. Like, the way I see drop rate, 1 out of 600 in reality is like 1 out of 1,000. Just think of it that way, because that's what it's really going to feel like for most things at that drop rate. Once you enter the thousands, yeah, I wouldn't even think of your KC. There's no point. You either get it and you're lucky, or you don't, and that's it. Your Noxious Halberd pieces are in a box and simultaneously not in that box until you open up the corpse of a Raxor. Yeah. Yeah, Schrodinger's drop rate. You get hung up on that drop rate too much, then you'll start getting 99s and get really pissed at like, huh, I'm 99 in so many skills and never got the pets for them. Okay. You would think that, but it's not really true for most of them, especially farming. Like, just to let you know, the farming pet is 1 in 5k for most trees, only going up to maybe 1 in 9k. It would. Like, I've looked into it for things I've done. I should have gotten a farming pet by now. I'm just dry. But I'm not going to think about it. It would drive me even more insane. Yeah, it's pretty much like that. the guy that's gone, like the penguin dude. But it's an absolutely absurd amount to finally reach that point. It's like, that shit is what started the discussion of like, do you think maybe we should just get the pet at 200 mil? Because, like, why not? Please give me a reason why not. Because the only reasons turn out to be people clutching their pearls, except their pearls in this example are pixelated animals. Yes. Should probably, yeah. I would also, this is biased, but like, they could just add a pet for every skill. Why not? Like, I thought that was a cool thing in RuneScape 3 that's like, there's a pet for all the combat skills? Yeah. Why not? You're right, they want you to bot skills, like thieving. That's why there was changes put into place on it, which turned out to be kind of shitty and didn't affect bots at all. And if you're auto-clicking, you probably have the power to tap a button, look over, click a button, go back to it. But arguably, farming is a viable skill. It's time gated, but you are literally buying trees over and over and over again to get a better chance. Synapse would be cool though. Unlikely, but damn if there isn't 200 plus thousand people playing, so it happens, and they will post to Reddit about it. His third time. Look, after that many in a row, Jad hands just stop because you're angry. You know, they've actually created content for that, right? I should have probably told you to, like, go do Scurrius, because it's why he exists. He's to teach players how to prayer flick while move. Like, Scurrius and the Royal Titans into the Three Moons, those should get you your sea legs for actual bossing. And then as you move up and you do bossing and you fight things like Vorkath or um, the Shard of Elune, you'll understand what it's like to be under like punishment conditions for failing them, where it's like it's no longer like a light 30. No, it's going to be like half your health or your entire health bar if you fuck it up. And then as you move up through that, what? Oh, I know you joined. But as you move through that, you'll start doing the quests that require you to either go into raids or do things similar where the game expects you to do some amount of switches while also doing movement, while also managing your prayers. There is actually now a real progression for every stage up. Oh, I was just coming through Chucky's shit. Tormented demons. Why else would I be in this shithole? No, those are bots. Only bots and Iron Man do this shit off task. That's literally the only people. Dude, I report over the half the people I see here that don't have a Slayer helm because it's that blatant. They used to be until bots crashed them. Go look up a tormented synapse and go look at the time chart for 1 year. You can see what bots have done to a best in slot item because they're that accessible. You put a week, you buy an account, you put some shit gear on it, and here, let's go traveling down some corridors. I guarantee I'll find one. Hiding in a crevice so they don't get fucking reported. Back here. Okay, you're on Slayer task, you're innocent. Yama's also heavily botted, yeah. So is Nightmare. There's Doom. Target acquired. Oh, those are nice stats, man. Look at all the bossing he's done. Ooh, wowee. It's like he has the exact amount of stats that he needed to do the quest to get here. Let's just, nick this one in the bud. I can't wait to get my message in the mail for this guy. It's so blatant. Yeah, I totally believe you're here wearing... What are those? What are those boots? He's in Oh my god, I gotta get next to this guy. I'm looking at him through the walls. What are those boots? I don't use that, but he's definitely wearing fucking obby with... It looks like D-hide? Is that red D-hide? Yeah, he's using Blessed. He's using a dragon crossbow with a Nezzy helm. And he is so unwilling to go change gear. He didn't bother. He doesn't have a switch. He was using his crossbow with his defender in his other hand. No, Chucky broke and don't have double synapse. That's the only reason he would do that, because otherwise he would have a demonic or a scorching bow. For Iron Man. Their rack site kills don't take like 6 to 7 minutes. I'd still say they're overtuned. Is they are very comparable to a Tebow at Zuck, which is crazy for something that doesn't require that much to get. The grind is long, to get there isn't, because it requires no gear to do it. No, it usually takes people like 800-ish. Most of the bots that were doing that moved on to Yama, and then most of the bots at Yama moved on to Doom. Whatever is mechanically the hardest and highest paying thing, that's what bots are going to try to do, because those mechanics don't exist for them. They're going to be tick perfect on everything. If you're buying a premium script or paying someone for a custom premium script. All that shit is instanced. Yeah. Gorkath, Zora, Gauntlet, pretty much every high-end PVM boss. I think that's the only reason God War's prices all haven't tanked to total shit, because if you see one, you report one usually. Also because, like, hey, I was gonna use this fucking room and this guy just barged in here with no word, nothing. Double hosta. Yeah. You can crash anyone anytime you want. Examine it. It'll tell you it's sex. Oh, it's an alchemical hydra. Yeah, they're made probably by the dragonkin. They can't reproduce because they don't have a sex. I feel like that's what that means. Like, if I keep alt tabbing to check this type of shit, I'm gonna get really fucked over by these demons because I've taken so many extra hits this run. Yeah, I'm already alt tab. Change styles. But I'm already reading about it. It was actually, I was correct, it was designed by the Dragonkin. And in his words, he used its. Yes, the alchemical hydra was a unique creation made by Kurum, who is the dragonkin that, like, where the name of the mountain comes from. Um, and the alchemical hydra is a one-of-a-kind creation that he could never replicate. So you're committing genocide. How does it make you feel? It does have a purpose. To kill people that wander into that dungeon. I don't think he enjoys his actual purpose of being turned into gloves. Oh yeah, I always forget that he's a part of the Lance. The Great Ohm? I don't think so, no. It is, according to Karum's diary, it's implied that it's his creation, but unlike the Hydra, it's not in his diary as his entry where it's like, I created the Hydra. No, it's just an implication that he created the Great Ohm. Uh, Through his saying, I intend to relocate to a mountain to the south. There's a lizard species there that may be my next project. That the only thing south of Mount Kurum that has lizards is the thing southern of the Lizardman Temple, which is the temples of Zarek. Yeah. Well, it's Mount Kurum, named after the dragonkin that made all these experiments. Oh, I thought you were doing a joke on the name, like you were just saying gibberish. But Ohm was defeated by Zarek and his followers. Zarek succeeded in seizing power over the crystals in the caverns as he desired, though the nature and degree of causality between these events is unclear. Zarek then sealed away the weapons and armor that the party had developed during the expedition for safekeeping. I believe that's in reference to Din's Bulwark, the Dragon Hunter crossbow, the Elder Maul, T-bow. So most likely another Dragonkin experiment. That is the running lore for pretty much every dragon-esque creature in RuneScape, including RuneScape 3. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Yeah, they actually had really good animations done to them. Oh, yeah, I forgot this bit of the lore. Yeah, dragons as a whole are created from Dragonkin. They were trying to find a cure for something with their race, and through that they created every draconic entity on RuneScape. They're not native to Galanor. That's in the RuneScape 3 lore, but RuneScape 3 lore is the same as old school lore. I mean, that is essentially how it works. It there's different ages, and current RuneScape 3 is in the next age, but old school, when Guthix dies here in a year or two, will also move on to the next age. Every quest that's in RuneScape 3 that's been ported over to old school, the core theming is the same. The only one I've seen that changes it enough that's like, these are basically different quests that get to the same conclusion, is Song of the Elves. They create whole new lore to make, well, the Song of the Elves part of the quest name actually relevant. But for Regicide Part 2 in RuneScape 3, it's more about the elven clans and why there is this separation between them and the other races and their connection to Zamorak and being tricked. No. Yeah, exactly. In RuneScape 3, it's much more in the forefront of like how important it is to reach out to each of these clans and get their support, and it feels like those clans actually exist in the city in RuneScape 3 because it's a skilling city, and every section of that city has a different skill representing a different clan. No, yeah, that's where I think it's completely different, but it makes it better because it creates this whole avenue for new lore. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting when, because I believe that, like, when you're doing Sins of the Father, you finally, he's like, I'll let you talk to him, but, like, know that the voice that comes out of my mouth is not me, it is my master. Yeah, there's only one guy in RuneScape history I know that does that type of shit. That's Zaros because he doesn't have a corporal form. Like he can't make himself into the physical realm, but he can tap into things as a medium. And where is Mauritania placed? Oh wait, this is the fallen Zerosian Empire, all the way from the desert of Al Kharid to Mauritania. That was Zerosian territory. Oh, Slisk. Or Sliske. Or Slisk. Or however you want to name him. He's the Ardogne of names for RuneScape 3. Oh yeah, it all these callbacks and it's like it was him the whole time and why is he treating me like an ally though? But he's attacking me, but we're friend I'm really he's giving me mixed signals. Oh fuck. For RuneScape 3, it's a bit of both. For old school, it was all planned. That is a crazy fucking take, dude. I don't think anyone would agree with you on that. Yeah. Like the final fight is hard, but I would not put that any harder than just the Duke. But I would definitely put Leviathan and Zardobis harder than that. Whisper, depending. What? Oh, god damn it. You. It's always a 50-50 Whisper or Zardobis. I've done the prep so many times with the Duke, I don't even care anymore. You just run through it all. I don't know how many kills do I have if you look me up. Hey, look, the bot's back. Yeah. Yeah, I just saw that bot I reported like 30 minutes ago run past me to the same exact space in the dungeon. Well, no, see, scaling outfits in RuneScape 3 are worth it, because there's things after 99. But if you have to do content that sacrifices enough EXP that, like, it just doesn't make it worth it in the long run. Or it only makes it worth it in the long run. Because you can do forestry for it, and also temple trekking is fast. The construction outfit, it's worth it because it's already one of the best methods of getting 99, so you're not doing anything different to like sacrifice for it. The rogue's outfit doesn't help with the XP, but it will roughly give you 25% more outcome or output of like profits going to 99. Yeah. No. Well, no, because people already do that to 99 anyways, like the same thing over and over again. And but like smithing outfit on non-Ironman, complete waste of time. Yeah, go do Giant's Forge for like fucking 15 hours when you could have just done Blast Furnace with gold and you would have gotten legit, let's see, like 4.8 mil. Yeah, I know how it works. You should really watch Matt Season Show's Iron Man series. It will become your favorite next to fucking Swampletics, I promise you. Like, watching someone actually play the game blind and not like, oh, it's half blind, and then my chat tells me everything, so I air quote figured it out. No, legit blind. You haven't seen a motherfucker struggle until you watch a guy do Fremennik trials for 9 months. He still hasn't done it. No, that room's easy. He doesn't know how to get past the drinking part. Like, He's been doing it so long, he's discovered dynamite from Corinne and thought that was a part of the puzzle. Like, holy shit. It's becoming a running meme in his videos where it's like, alright, it's been a couple months. No, it's still not clicking. Like, he doesn't talk to the guy at the bridge that gives you the context clue on how to beat the drinking game. That's the only NPC he's missed. So he's just hitting a fucking wall. Watching someone take 6 different trips to do underground pass, fucking art, dude. It's art. Like, being the reason to add a spell into the game so that people at lower levels can just figure out the stats of creatures. It's like, yeah, that's probably something you as a game developer should recognize, that like your game's a wiki game, but it shouldn't be a wiki game. Things should be intuitive. You should be able to just figure it out. Depends what type of game you're making. That's a multiplayer game. If it's multiplayer, it is implied that you interact with the community to figure out things that you can't figure out yourself. But in designing games, that's not how it works. There's one of two styles. There is things like Morrowind, where there is a intended way to do it, and if you don't do it that way, the quest will not work. You had to be here on a Wednesday, not a Tuesday. The sun isn't out at this time. It's not gonna fucking work. Or there's Grand Theft Auto, where here is your mission. We're not telling you how to complete it. It could be a sniper mission. You don't have to use a sniper rifle. We just recommend that you do that. The fun is figuring out your own way of doing it. But that's not a part of game design. That may be a part of your game design because you're making a speedrunning game, but no one is ever... Yeah, I know, but no one's ever making their shit intended to be broken unless that is actually... That wasn't the intent for the game, but he decided to develop it into that. But that's not how RuneScape quests work at all. They are literally item ID check here, item ID check there. If you don't got it, you don't progress at all. No, that's not what he plans to do. Look, this guy is a former rank 1 WoW PvPer. He is not going to give up. He is a part of a very old select group of WoW players that didn't play with guides. They were actually playing WoW on release, and they were at the top rankings during that time. So this is very much the type of game he likes, and why he's not playing WoW. It started off as just like a topic video, and then it grew, and he's like, I kind of like this game. Are you guys interested in like me continuing this on? Because it was supposed to be just an exploration of game systems, of like How does the game teach you how to do these things? How is the progression compared to WoW? Because WoW is a vertically scaled game where as you progress upwards, the things below you become irrelevant. But in RuneScape, it's horizontal progression. As you move down the track, the things that you've gotten beforehand help you progress through multiple sections of that track. Things don't lose relevancy beforehand. Or in WoW, the skills aren't as integrated and reliant on each other. You may have one or the other, but compared to old school, you have usually 4 or 5 skills that completely rely around each other. Like if you think about it, someone that doesn't trade at all, like an Iron Man, the farming feeds into the herblore. The herblore may feed into combats, but it doesn't just end there. The farming could also lead into woodcutting because you can grow trees. But exactly, and it doesn't. But it doesn't stop there because that farming that led into trees may lead into fletching. When you don't know the meta, all these things actually flow very naturally to each other. WoW isn't like that. I can tell you from playing both versions of the game, it really isn't like that. It does something else magical in the MMO space. Ooh, a fucking genie. But he came to my house. Come back. But like, Vanilla WoW does something very special that other MMOs usually don't do well at all or do a shitty job of it. You are actually reliant on other people's classes, which makes it the community binding of doing things really nice. No one in old school really is like, shit, my smithing's too low. I'll go talk to this guy that actually has the smithing level to make my rune armor. Yeah, that's ancient way of playing the game, but that's how you get an integrated community where it's like, hey, yo, I actually know this guy that can smith that armor for you, and if he smiths that armor for you, I'm pretty sure he'll buy out your high-end potions because he's the only guy I know that actually does that high-end content. He's killing green dragons all the time. That's not a thing. You don't rely on anything. RuneScape is a one-man army type of MMO that a lot of MMOs have turned into, and that's what's magical about the feeling in classic WoW. When you're in that dungeon and there's only one guy capable of healing and one guy capable of tanking, them doing their job correctly and you playing off each other feels like magic because it feels like you're actually playing as a group. When it's 3 niggas all in the same gear fighting the same boss the exact same way, you're kind of playing together, but it's more like you're just playing the same game together with people. It's not the same feeling. Yes, assigned roles and playing off each other. It does a good job of doing that. It's just, you would think when you're playing an MMO that would exist on the like scale that an MMO can make it work, but it just doesn't work that way in basically any game anymore because the goblins driving the wheel in those brains just don't want it that way anymore. Where's your house located? He created scrolls of redirection scrolls so he could change house scrolls to Remington scrolls. I also did the same thing. Remington, Relica, the ones that aren't there naturally. I went through that when I didn't have a house. I get it. Not Lunar Isle. It's Waterbirth Island. Because it's faster to do water births. Yeah, you're on the same dock. And largely, they're the same difference because it's like maybe 10 tiles of difference, but they're both faster than having your house in Relica, which is like a 30 tile run. Actually, probably more. Isn't the house in Relica puts you outside the outskirts of Relica? Okay, yeah, it's definitely more. Yeah, it's that weird portal I always look at when I was young and they're like, what's that? I didn't know what a fucking house was. I was too poor. Yeah, basically. Did you just... They're in your potion storage, dum dum. Then type it in. I thought he did. Makes him cry. Dad. Yeah, he's been in Jad for like the last 12 hours. Not really, but like the last 6. Me! I'll be more grateful. Me! And you never got hacked. Chucky, you need to start doing Theater of Blood and doubling up on those sides. So I'll take the first one, okay? Just donate a scythe. Dude. Hell yeah. I can do Corrupted Gauntlet. What the fuck are you talking about? You act like that's hard. Yeah, have you done Awakened Desert Treasure 2 bosses? Yes! I wanted to see what it was like. One of them. Look, the Duke is a lot harder on his Awaken. No, but fucking Leviathan, that's where I learned, like, yo, this is, like, the hardest content I've seen in the game. I've always seen it finished on fucking Whisperer. I think they start out on Leviathan to get the hard one out of the way. Just drop it outside the caves and say you left it for him. You're not gonna give me a hemleaf for whatever the fuck it's called? Hemorrhoid? A corrupted hemorrhoid? Your task is to kill the Great Olm. You skip it. I thought that was a synapse because it was a different color. I'm so sad. The highest valued drop outside of that, I'm pretty sure, was a dragon fruit seed. Oh, yeah, it could have been that too. I'd be more upset if it was that. That's the same drop rate. It was a dragon fruit seed, like I said. I don't have sounds like that turned on. Like, RuneScape sounds agitate my tinnitus so much. Literally just ting! Ting! I didn't get how some people can use it for, like, they don't have to look visually, they know the audio of it. I can't. I'd rather stress myself out. Probably got his fang. That's not a thing. The complainer that gets spooned yet again, so he feels validated. Wah, I didn't get my halberd in 3 Slayer tasks. Wah. By accessing that RNG, the Fang is now 1500 kills away. Add 70 plus to that. Actually, Jared, your total's wrong. He's at 900 mil. I have a synapse of this. Yeah, but then who's gonna chin? That sounds like user error. Remember, this is a guy that skipped like a 4KC adamant dragon task. Night night.